everybody, I hope you're doing well today. Today I have my July 2018 candle and wax empties to share with you. As you can see, I got through quite a bit this month. It was a longer month, but I'm really happy with what I was able to finish and use this month. I hope you've all had a fabulous July. Let me know in the comments below what you've been melting and burning. Are you still in summer mode, or are you already transitioning into fall scents? I do tend to start feeling the urge like the end of July to start wanting to transition to fall, but it's just so hot here. And there are a lot of good summer scents that I want to get to, so I normally hold off transitioning until September. Let me know what you do. Do you transition in August, or are you maybe not even a seasonal melter or burner and you just burn whatever you want, whenever you want? I always love to hear from you. As with all of my empties, I will start with the random bits first. I do actually have quite a bit of kind of random bits, hand soaps and body care that I will go through, and then I'll go into the wax melts and then into the candles. I will leave the timestamps below, so if you're only interested in a particular portion of the video, the candles or the wax melts, you can click the timestamp and it will take you to that portion of the video. If you are interested in hearing about what I burned, melted, and used this month, let's get started. Alright, as I mentioned, I got through several body care items this month. The first thing I finished is this, the Bathing Garden Sugar Scrub and Sparkling Mango. This was a coconut oil and rose clay sugar scrub, so it had this really thick clay type consistency. I really enjoyed it. It's a very tart mango, which I love, and really enjoyed this one. I would definitely repurchase it next year. I mentioned before, but I love the Bathing Garden scrubs. Even if you're not into vendor wax, I do recommend that you check out her scrubs. They are just the nicest, thickest, sort of coarse scrubby consistency. They're not like thin, which I just feel like you get a really nice exfoliation. So highly recommend her scrubs. I will definitely continue to purchase them. I finished this L'Occitane Lavender Shower Gel. I mentioned last month how much I love this particular lavender fragrance. It is very authentic, very true to the lavender that you would find in nature, and I really love the scent. It is so relaxing. I like the consistency of their shower gels. Their products are a bit pricier, especially compared to Bath & Body Works. I think they're sort of equivalent price-wise to Lush, maybe a little bit more expensive, but I do like their products and I would repurchase this line. I finished a hand cream in the Bath & Body Works Tutti Dolce Sweet Lemon Buttercup. I honestly forgot that I had these. They were with like my hand soaps in a little bag, and I pulled them out. I'm like, oh, I need to go ahead and use these because their body cream and their hand creams with the shea butter, they do go bad. And actually, I got about halfway through this bottle and then I started noticing that sort of off smell that the shea butter can have once it's gone bad or once it's gone off. I'm particularly sensitive to that smell. If you do have body creams in your collection, I recommend that you go ahead and use them because they will not last and then you would have wasted your money. This was a nice lemon, sweet lemon scent, but it's not one that I would repurchase if it were still available. In an effort to try to whittle down my body care collection, I did finish a shower gel and lotion in Beach Night Summer Marshmallow. I absolutely love this scent. The marshmallow and the vanilla in this are just so yummy and sort of delicious, but it's also paired with the beachy vibes, and I think it's just an amazing scent. I really do love it. I also finished this Bath & Body Works Stress Relief Pillow Mist and Eucalyptus Tea. This particular scent isn't my favorite. Even though it's not available now, if they were to bring it back, I probably wouldn't repurchase Eucalyptus Tea, but I do like their Pillow Mist and I would get them again. I also finished 2 pocket backs this month. I finished the Lavender Rain with essential oils. This is a very nice, fresh lavender scent. It actually reminded me of the lavender and linen hand soap. And then I finished this My Unicorn Needs Me in Cool Coconut. I really did like this one. This one's a very strong, feminine kind of scent. So if you don't like really strong pocket back ones, you may not like this one. We finished 5 hand soaps this month. I think because this was a partial bottle and another one was a partial bottle. But yeah, it was a lot of hand soaps even for us. My grandma was with me though, so we always use a bit more when she's here. The first one we finished was Lakeside Afternoon. This one is a very fresh, clean, sort of aquatic type scent. I really did enjoy this one. Perfect for the summer. I finished Island Margarita. I really love this packaging. I think most people know what Island Margarita smells like. The soap smells just like the candle. Not a lime margarita, but a fruity, sweet margarita type scent. It really is a nice one. Not surprisingly, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I finished another Linen and Lavender. Needless to say, I love this scent. Perfect for the kitchen. We finished this Iced Guava Green Tea. This was a very different type scent that I normally go for and that they really normally bring out. It was a tropical earthy scent. You definitely picked up that very distinct guava note, but there was also this earthy vibe to it. It was different. I did like it, but it's probably not one that I would repurchase. And the last hand soap that we finished was this watermelon lemonade, the nourishing hand soap with avocado butter. I don't necessarily think that these with the avocado butters and the coconut butters are more nourishing, but I do feel like they aren't as drying as like the foaming hand soap. So I tend to gravitate toward these or the deep cleansing. This was a really nice scent. Smells just like watermelon lemonade, and I enjoyed it. And lastly, for random bits, I finished 3 wallflowers. I put in this watermelon lemonade. This scent is always a good one for me in wallflowers. I put in this pomegranate lemonade. Really loving this one. It's almost done. I really wish they would bring this scent back. I just think that extra tartness from the pomegranate mixed with the lemonade, I just really love it. This one's been performing great. No issues. It didn't stop at the halfway point or anything like that. I hope we see this one again. And then I put in this linen and lavender. This one was not very strong, and I would think that especially linen and lavender are 2 typically pretty strong scents, but this one wasn't very strong. I was a bit disappointed in it, actually. Alrighty, that is all of the random bits. We will move on to the wax melts. I got through quite a few wax melts again this month. Really happy with what I was able to get through. The thing for this month, particularly with my wax melts, was the beach. Suntan lotion, salty sea air, beach towels, like ocean water, anything like that, anything that would remind me of being at the beach is what I wanted to melt this month. I did also throw in some fruity scents, like fruity cocktail scents. Sort of imagine if you're sitting on the beach drinking a fruity cocktail. So it was a really good month overall for me. Let me know in the comments below what you melted this month. I always love to hear from you. Do you do themes like I do, or you just kind of melt whatever you want? I just find that when I do a theme, I can kind of go through all of my wax, and normally I'll just choose an evening, I'll go through all of my wax, I'll pull out everything I want to melt the next month, put it in a box, and then I'll bring that out into like another specific part of my home, and then that's what I'll melt. It would just be too difficult, too time consuming to try to go into my entire wax stash every morning and pick out scents. So this sort of helps narrow it down. I think that's really one of the reasons that I'm able to kind of get through so much, is because I have this smaller melting basket that I focus on. Anyway, let me stop rambling. The first scent that I finished this month is Super Tarts Lady Ranicorn, and it's rainbow sherbet and fruit punch. One thing I wanted to mention here is look at this clamshell. I mean, look how soft it gets. I've seen or heard other people kind of refer to this issue with Super Tarts clams before, and let me know if you've had this experience. Like that, it just flattens compared to like Zeep. You see, it doesn't really move. Or Better Homes and Gardens, you know, they're still like stiff plastic, whereas this is really softened. And so it sort of just, I question like what is going on there. I was chatting with a friend and we discussed that it may be the fact that she uses so much oil that the oil just does kind of leak out over time, and then the plastic absorbs it. I also wonder maybe if it's her particular wax blend, because I know other vendors like Barrett Wax Crafts, he uses quite a bit of oil. His wax melts are very, very strong, but his clams don't do this. So I'm just curious to know your experience below, or if you happen to know why it does this, let me know. Maybe it's the particular clamshells that she uses. Maybe it has nothing to do with her wax. So let me know in the comments below if you've had this experience and what you think it is, because I'm just really curious about it. Anyway, this was a sweet, fruity, somewhat creamy scent. I actually enjoyed the scent more on cold sniff than I did melting. Once it was melting, it was just okay. It was sort of cloyingly sweet, and it just didn't end up being my favorite. I was able to finish it, of course, but it's not one that I would repurchase. The strength and throw was about a 6.5 for 1 cube in my bulb warmer. I finished this sample in Mandala Melts Squirtle. This one is Salty Sea Air and Pineapple. This was actually a really nice combo. I would thought that the Salty Sea Air would dominate the pineapple, but actually the pineapple was stronger than the Salty Sea Air, and it was like a very nice, fruity, beachy kind of scent. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, the strength and throw was only like a 4 for me in my 20-watt hot plate warmer, so let me know if you've used Mandala Melt and what warmer you put them in, because I do have some more of her scents that I want to try to get the best throw from. I finished this Easy Melt Cup in Yankee Candles Sun and Sand. You're going to see this scent several times throughout the video. I absolutely love it. It is a summer quintessential scent, suntan lotion, beachy perfection. I absolutely love it. I have to melt it or burn it every year. The strength and throw of the melt cup was about a 6.5 for the first rotation in my centerpiece, and then it died down to about a 4, 4.5 the next 2 rotations. But I was still able to get some scent from it. I would, of course, continue to repurchase this, probably in this form and every form. I just love it going all over my entire house. It is the perfect beachy scent, in my opinion. I finished this clam in ScentSationals Raspberry Margarita. This was a tart, juicy, sweet raspberry. There was a slight salty vibe that I did pick up, so it did actually kind of smell like this picture, this really juicy tart raspberry drink with just a salty rim. It was nice, but not one of my favorites. There was just something about it when it was melting that I didn't quite like. I actually think if it had been more salty, I would have enjoyed it more. As per normal with Scentsationals, it was quite strong. The strength and throw was about a 7.5 for 1 cube in my bulb warmer. Scentsationals is one of the waxes that I can always put in a bulb warmer and have good results. I finished this scent shot in Hayden Rowe's Rocket Pop. This is the Bomb Pop scent. A lot of vendors do have it. This one has a nice amount of cherry in it. It's very well balanced between all three of the different layers. The strength and throw was an 8 for half of the scent shot in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. I did really enjoy this one and would probably repurchase it. I finished this scent shot in Southbound Candle Company's Yankee Doodle Dandy. These were the perfect scents for July 4th. Also, they were all red, white, and blue. It was very festive. This was a cherry slushy blue Hawaiian lemonade scent. It also reminded me of sort of that Rocket Pop popsicle where you have that cherry and then you have the fruity tartness. So it wasn't an exact Rocket Pop kind of scent, but it was in that same family. Really nice. I really like this one. I like that the cherry wasn't super dominant actually. The strength and throw of this one's about a 7.5 for half of the scent shot in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. More Sun and Sand from Yankee Candle, this time in these fragrance wax melts that you can find at Walmart. They look like this on the back. I already talked about the scent, love it. I really do actually like this form. The strength and throw was a 6 for 1 of the cubes in my 20-watt hot plate warmer, but I found from my home that if I use 1.5 cubes, I get a better strength and throw. It's about a 7.5, 8 for this particular scent in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. So for me, 1.5 cubes works the best just because I do have a large open concept. And the great thing about this particular scent in this form is that the 1.5 cubes would last all day. I'd put it in the morning and it would last all day. So I was really happy with this. I would repurchase this scent in this form, and if they continue to bring out scents in this form, I would pick up some more. I finished this scent shot in Hayden Rowe's Beach Towels. I'm trying to branch out a little bit, try a little bit of linen scents. I feel like I like beach scents, so mixing a little bit of laundry with that. You know, branching out, it's always good to step out of your comfort zone. I actually did enjoy this one more than I thought I would. It was more of that salty sea breeze kind of ozone vibe than the actual laundry. The laundry was definitely still present, but it was just really nicely balanced by the salty sea air vibe. So I did actually enjoy it, and it does remind me of the Destination Wax Beach Linen, which I'll talk about later. Strength and throw was a 7.5 for half the scent shot in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. I finished the scent shot in Hayden Rowe's Seaside Barber. This is salty sea air mixed with shaving cream. Just such a nice combo, very fresh and clean without being masculine. Love it. The strength and throw was about a 7, 7.5 for half of the scent shot in my 24-watt hot plate warmer, and I would repurchase this blend. One of my friends, Dana from Wax and Love, sent me this sample in Zeep's Poolside, and I really liked this one a lot. It was beach towels and citrus soda, so it's like fizzy pop and linen, which sounds kind of like an odd combination, but it actually really worked. It did kind of feel like you were sitting outside the pool and maybe you had some kind of like cocktail or fizzy sweet drink in your hand and you were out by the pool. So it really worked. The strength and throw was about a 6.5 for, you know, a small little chunk. I would probably get this again next year. It was nice. I finished this bag of mini melters in Rosegirls Blackberry Rainbow Sherbet Lemonade. I've been enjoying this for the last couple months, and it's really nice. Sweet, fruity, and tart, perfect. Like all of these scents just blend perfectly together to give you that right amount of sweetness and tartness, but it's not cloying, it's not overly sweet, but it's not overly tart where you kind of like will pucker up if you smell it. It's just a really nice combo. The strength and throw was a 7.5 in my 20-watt hot plate warmer, and it only lasted about 3 to 4 hours. So what I've said over several videos, and I found that Rosegirls doesn't have the longevity that I would like. I'll melt it, and then I just really can't smell it after 3 or 4 hours. And someone messaged me and said, hey, try melting Rosegirls in a lower wattage and it will last longer. So I'm like, okay, sure. So then I melted it in my Scentsy Accord warmer, the one that has the 3 dishes. The same amount of wax, strength and throw was a 6.5, so just a little weaker, but it lasted like 7 to 8 hours. So a huge difference, like just that small reduction of strength and throw for double the time the scent lasted. So going forward, I'm definitely going to be melting my Rosegirls in either a bulb warmer or the Scentsy Accord warmer, and I just think that the 24-watt hot plate and even the 20-watt hot plate, I think there's just too much heat and it just uses up the scent oils too quickly. So for me, Rosegirls, I'm going to try a different method, and I'm having much better luck and success with her scents in the lower wattage warmers. So just wanted to share that in case y'all were having the same problem. I finished this Goose Creek clam in orange berry slush. This one was a sweet orange citrusy berry drink slushy kind of scent. It actually smelled exactly like that picture, this sort of very sweet citrusy slushy. You picked up some of the berries. It wasn't citrusy like tart. It was definitely just more of a sweet orange. This was the softer wax that they used to have. The strength and throw was at a 4.5 for 2 of the triangles in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. With the scent and then not really being that strong, it's not one that I would repurchase. I finished this Scentsy clam in Bonfire Beach. Sorry for the glare. This one is very smoky bonfire heavy with the marshmallow salty sea air vibes kind of in the background. So if you don't like kind of smoky or bonfire type scents, I don't think you're gonna like this one. It's not like marshmallow fireside. It's definitely more like you're sitting on the beach with a bonfire, but it is quite smoky. The bonfire is very prominent, so just keep that in mind. I would take 2 cubes and put it in 2 separate dishes in the Accord warmer, and it was like a strength and throw of a 7 for that. So it was perfectly adequate, and it lasted about 10 hours. So the good thing about Scentsy is they do last a long time. I've heard some people say that their Scentsy melts last like 5 days. No. I've melted Scentsy for years and years now, and I've never had a melt last for 5 days. Now, if you only melt it for 2 hours a day and then turn it off, then yeah, it's going to last for 5 days. But I think the implication is that people are like, oh yeah, I'll let it go, and it just goes for 5 days. No. At the most I've ever had is like, 12, 15 hours, a full long day, but never 5 days. So that's just my experience. Unfortunately, Scentsy's clamshells have gone up to $6 a clam, and I just don't think that they're worth it compared to so many other vendor wax out there that you can get for such a better price. So some of their scents are phenomenal, but they're just too pricey now. So I will continue to buy certain scents that I have that I really love, but I'm only going to get them when they're on sale. I will not pay $6 for a clam. That's too much for me. I finished the scent shot in Destination Wax Sea Island Grapefruit. I really, really love grapefruit scents. This one's a really good one. It's a crisp, sweet grapefruit. It is similar to the Votivo scent. I love it. It is just so refreshing. The strength and throw was a 6.5 for half of the scent shot in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. I finished this scent shot in Empire Alchemy's Mermaid's Tears. This is salty sea air, rosemary mint, twisted peppermint, toasted marshmallow, and vanilla bean noel. Definitely heavy on the rosemary mint and the twisted peppermint. It actually sort of had like a wintry vibe on cold sniff, but when I melted it, that rosemary mint and the salty sea air did come through a bit more. It was actually really, really nice. Very sinus opening though. It was sort of like a twisted peppermint version for the summer. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. The strength and throw was like a 7.5 for half of the scent shot in my 20-watt hot plate warmer, and it lasted about 8 hours. So this is a newer company for me. I've placed 2 orders now, and I really do like this vendor. So if you haven't checked her out, then I would recommend maybe placing a small order, because so far I've had really great luck with her blends. I finished this clam in ScentSationals Rainbow Shaved Ice. This is a sweet, fruity, berry punch scent. Sort of has this syrupy sweetness to it. It does kind of remind you of like the syrup that you would use on a shaved ice. Really nice, actually. It wasn't overly sweet, which I liked. I really enjoyed this one. This one was a strength and throw of an 8 for 1 cube in my bulb warmer, and I would repurchase this one. I finished this sample of Destination Wax Passion Fruit and Guava. This one's a tart, tangy, tropical, fruity scent. It has this very distinct, almost earthy note to it, which I liked. The strength and throw was about a 6 for the 1 mini cake in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. I finished this 2-pack Lilliput in Destination Wax Raspberry Sangria. She doesn't offer the 2-pack box anymore. This is a sweet raspberry fruity sangria kind of scent. This was a bit bland, and it was not very strong at all. The strength and throw was on like a 3, 3.5, which is not typical from my experience at Destination Wax. But all vendors have their lighter scents and they have their stronger scents. That just is what it is. This one happened to be one that was lighter for me. I used 1 cube in my 24-hour hot plate warmer. This one also tended to lose its scent very quickly. This one wouldn't be a repurchase for me. I finished this shape in the Bathing Gardens Whimsy. This is bergamot, orange, pineapple, and lemon with hints of banana, coconut, a bright and tropical scent. This one was a tropical, fruity, frozen drink kind of cocktail scent. I was hoping that the banana was going to come through a lot more melting, and it didn't. It just sort of came across as somewhat of, honestly, sort of this generic, fruity scent. There wasn't anything really special about it. The other thing is that this one was also very light. It was like a 3.5 in my 20 watt hot plate warmer, and you're gonna see a trend with the next scent was light too. So keep in mind that this one, the raspberry sangria, and the next one I talk about, it may be that my nose was stopped up, or maybe I was just having a bad scent couple of days that everything just seemed light to me. So let me know if you've had different experiences with raspberry sangria or this scent. The next one I finished was the Bathing Garden Sea of Tears, and like I mentioned, this was also very light. This was even lighter than the other two. It was like 2.5, 3 in my 20 watt hot plate warmer. This is fresh air, sea salt, ocean mist, an aquatic floral scent, sweet and beachy vibe. It is an aquatic, sweet, beachy scent. It's actually a really nice scent. I just really couldn't smell it. So I don't know if it was just me for these three and I was just having a bad day. So let me know in the comments below if you've melted these and if you have better luck, because I don't want to write off the scent if it was just me, but I did not, these were just not strong for me. I finished this loaf of Vintage Chic Scents Backwoods Barbie Drinks to Shirley Temple. This is a small bag. This actually was a full, I think it was even a deluxe loaf when she was offering those, like the $30 loaves that she offered. I don't think she offers those anymore, but this was a big one that I've been melting since last year. And as I've used it up, I just put it in a smaller bag to save space. So this one is, Backwoods Barbie is her Satsuma Strawberry Cotton Candy. And of course the Shirley Temple is kind of that fizzy pop cherry kind of scent. So together it's like this super strong, sweet, fruity, drink type scent. Very fruity, very nice. They work really well together. You get both of the scents in the blend and they really balance each other quite well. So if you like these kind of scents, then this one is a nice combination. The strength and throw was about an 8 for a small chunk in my 24 watt hot plate warmer and a 7.5 in my 20 watt hot plate warmer. So a very nice medium high to high strength for this one. So I did enjoy it. I probably wouldn't repurchase such a big amount. If I did get this again, I would stick to more of a like 4-pack or, you know, maybe even a Blossom bag, but overall I did enjoy it. I finished a Goose Creek Clam in Summer Slices. This is a scent that I really enjoyed last year. It's a bright, juicy fruit summer drink scent. You get the strawberry, you get a little bit of the citrus, and it has some sweetness and tartness. It does actually kind of smell like this picture. This sort of chopped up fruity drink. I liked it last year a lot, but this year, something about it just didn't sit right with me. It was like it was maybe too sweet or something this year. I don't know. Obviously the scent didn't change because I bought these at the same time, but it's just obviously my nose has changed. The strength and throw was an 8 for 2 cubes in my bulb warmer or my 20 watt hot plate warmer. This is a very strong scent. It lasts a long time. If you like fruity, sweet scents, I think you'd like this one. It's just, I think for me, I'm going to take a break and not melt this again next year. I finished this Clam and Zeep's beach towels. This is lemongrass, coconut, and fresh towels. This is more lemongrass and sort of the spa-like aspect than actual laundry. So, of course, I really enjoyed it because it wasn't overpowering laundry. In fact, I wouldn't even really consider this a true laundry scent. For me, it just came across more spa-like and relaxing versus a laundry scent. So if you were going to get this thinking it was a laundry scent, just know that. To me, it's not like really in that family. It's more in the spa family. The strength and throw was a 7, 7.5 for 1 cube in my 20 watt or my bulb warmer, and it lasts about 8 hours. Zeep's clams are now a scent that I feel like I can put in my bulb warmers and have really good luck with as well, which is nice. I finished the Scent Shot in Southbound Candle Company's Red, White, and Blue. This is blueberry cream, cherry marshmallow birthday cake. So it sort of smelled like this cherry blueberry birthday cake kind of scent. Quite yummy. You definitely have to like cherry in order to enjoy this scent. The first time I melted it in my master bedroom. It's a bigger space and I enjoyed it. The second time I put it in my office, I had to turn it off. It was actually very cloying in that smaller room and it was just too strong. So I definitely would recommend this for a larger space. It's a very strong scent. Strength and throw was an 8.5, like I said, very strong in my 24 hot plate warmer for half the Scent Shot, and it was about an 8, even probably more so, in my 20 watt hot plate warmer in my smaller office. So just keep that in mind. This one's better for a larger space. It's quite strong. Probably even I could have just used 1/4 of this melt and not have used as much, and that would have probably been a good alternative, but this one was a nice one. I finished this Goose Creek melt in Summer Sherbet. This one I really like. It's creamy lime citrusy sherbet, like a very authentic sherbet. It's awesome. I love the scent. Very nice. The strength and throw was a 7.5, 8 in my 20 watt hot plate warmer for 2 cubes and about a 7 in my bulb warmer. The bad thing about this one is that it stained my warmer really badly. You can see the color of the wax is kind of this odd color. This was a softer wax, so the new wax may not do that, but it stained my warmer really, really badly, both of them. the 20 watt and the bulb warmer. Of course, I was able to get off the stain very easily with just some rubbing alcohol. That's the easiest way to get off any stains from your warmers. But nonetheless, I would absolutely repurchase this scent again. I finished this chunk bag in Sassy Girl Aromas Coconut Cream and Salty Sea Air and Sweet Lavender. Really nice blend. I would say the Salty Sea Air Sweet Lavender Marshmallow blend is sort of a classic Sassy Girl Aroma scent. I actually prefer this version with the coconut cream instead of the marshmallow over the other one because that coconut cream just adds this really nice creaminess to the blend. I think it just elevates it. It really balances and tones down the Salty Sea Air in the overall blend. So I prefer this one more, although I like the other one as well. This is the one that I would repurchase first. The Strength and Throw was a 7.5/8 for like a half of the chunk in my 20 watt hot plate warmer. And I had a couple people ask me why my chunk bags are in these bags. It's because I rebagged all of my bakery bags into these poly bags. One for just storage purposes. They fit better in a storage without the bakery bag, and I think they just hold their scent better having these thicker poly bags. I finished this Yankee Candle Easy Melt Cup in Pink Sands, another sort of classic summer scent by Yankee. I always have thought this was like a very pretty scent. Citrus florals, and they say spicy vanilla. This one's actually really nice when it's blended or melted at the same time with sun and sand. They really come together nicely. The Strength and Throw was at a 7.5 in my centerpiece, and I actually got 4 rotations out of this one. So this one lasted a really long time, which was very nice. I finished this 2-pack tile of Vintage Chic Scents Asphalt Jungle, and this is Agave Lime Margarita Strawberry. This scent was definitely a sweeter scent versus a tart citrusy scent. So that agave, the sweetness from the agave definitely came through a lot. So that wasn't like the super astringent tart lime at all. It was actually really, really nice, and I did enjoy it. The Strength and Throw was about a 6.5/7 for about a fourth of the tile in my Scentsy Accord Warmer. I finished this 4-pack coin in Vintage Chic Scents Beatlemania. This one is sweet blue raspberry, strawberry slushy, and blue cotton candy. It's one of the new scents that came out this year. This one is very sweet, fruity drink scent. Emphasis on the word sweet. It's like very sweet, sugary, almost like a syrupy sweetness in this one. So it was almost a little too sweet for me personally. The Strength and Throw was a 6 for half of the coin in my Accord Warmer, about a 6.5/7 in my 20 watt hot plate warmer for half of a coin. It was nice, but because it was a little bit too sweet for me, so it wouldn't be a repurchase. I finished this bakery bag in my beloved Destination Wax Lavender Twilight. This was a mini cake bag, bakery bag, and as y'all should probably know by now, I absolutely love this scent. This was my #1 vendor wax scent of 2017. I absolutely love it. Yes, I have more. I just got another bag of the Lavender Twilight in my most recent pre-order. Highly, highly recommend. It is an exact dupe of the Lush Twilight scent. I've smelled other vendors' Lush Twilights, but they do not compare to this one. It is just spot on in my opinion. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. The Strength and Throw is like an 8.5/9 for one mini cake in my 20 or 24 hot plate warmer. It's actually probably even a 10 in my 24 watt hot plate warmer. So I've normally put it in my 20 watt hot plate warmer, and then of course it just lasts and lasts and lasts. I can put it on in the evening and I can still smell it the next day and into the morning. It is just phenomenal. Love the scent so much, and highly, highly recommended if you like lavender scents or that Lush Twilight. You're gonna love this one. I finished this melt in Zeep's Therapy. This is suntan lotion, exotic blooms, tropical berries, and beach waves. This was a nice beachy scent. You got a good bit of that suntan lotion, but you also got quite a bit of the floral. So it did also sort of have this pretty perfume kind of vibe. It definitely came across a bit feminine in my opinion. It wasn't heavy though at all. It was sort of light and girly is the best way for me to describe it. The Strength and Throw was about a 7 for a chunk in my 20 watt hot plate warmer. I also finished this Sassy Girl Aroma chunk bag in Salty Sea Air Sweet Lavender Marshmallow. As I already mentioned, this is sort of the classic CGA scent, fresh and sweet. Really enjoyed it, although I prefer the coconut cream blend version of this. The Strength and Throw was a 7.5/8 for a small chunk in my 20 watt or 24 watt hot plate warmer. I finished this 2-pack tile of Vintage Chic Scents Bomb Pop Martini. This is another Rocket Pop type scent. This is her version of the Rocket Pop scent. Strong, fizzy, fruity, syrupy popsicle. The cherry note is present in this one, but it's balanced more with that lemon lime fizzy note. Another strong one, Strength and Throw is an 8 for a fourth of the tile in my Accord Warmer or in my 20 watt hot plate warmer. I finished this 3-pack sushi rolls in Bento's Day at the Spa. This one's lemongrass, blackcurrant, patchouli, and sugarcane. a really refreshing, relaxing scent. Very spa-like. The patchouli and the lemongrass play off each other really nicely, so you have this sort of earthy vibe, but then you also have this very refreshing, uplifting vibe as well. Really, really nice blend. The strength and throw is a 7.5 for half of a roll in my 20-watt hot plate warmer, and I would definitely repurchase this scent. It's really nice. I finished this clam in Super Tarts Dark. This is the Omen with Roseberry Mint. Her Omen is a fresh spa kind of blend, but this one is mixed with the Roseberry Mint, and both notes are very present. The Omen normally kind of dominates in these blends, but I do pick up quite a bit of the Rosemary Mint in this one. I actually like this one and kind of prefer this one just to the plain Omen. This Drench and Throw is a 7.5/8 for 1 cube in my bulb warmer. I finished this clam in the Bathing Gardens Mermaid Tears. This is a sparkling spa-like scent, essential citrus oils, tropical greens, and salty tears. This is a green and spa-like scent. Very relaxing. I really liked it. The strength and throw of this one for 2 cubes was an 8.5. For 1 cube, it was like a 6.5/7 in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. Some of the Bathing Garden scents I find perfectly adequate, in fact very strong using 1 cube, but some I have to use 2 cubes, so it just depends on the scent. This one was one that I preferred 2 cubes if you really want like a huge blast of scent in a bigger space. I finished this Destination Wax Scent Shot in Sunny Sand Beach. This is a dupe of Yankee Candle Sun and Sand, so of course I absolutely love this scent. It is just the perfect summer sunscreen scent. The strength and throw about this was about a 6.5 for half of the scent shot in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. I would repurchase this one. It's fantastic. Almost there, y'all, if you're hanging in there. The next one I finished was Destination Wax Salty Sea Air. I mentioned this one before. It is that perfect, strong, fresh, salty sea air scent. It is excellent by itself, but it's also a really great blender. I actually just use a 1/4 of this scent shot in my 20-watt hot plate warmer, and it's like a strength and throw, like an 8. So this is just a really strong scent. I finished this scent shot in Hayden Rowe's Beach House. This is a clean and fresh scent, but you do pick up some floral notes, the salty ozone kind of notes. It is somewhat pretty because of the floral notes. Strength and throw is about a 7.5 for half of the scent shot in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. I did enjoy it, and I'm going to compare it to 2 other Hayden Rowe scents here in just a second. The next one I finished is Hayden Rowe's Beach Garden. This is definitely more floral and sort of has this perfumed sweetness and has less of that sort of ozone aquatic vibes. They're there, but they're definitely not the dominant notes in this particular blend. This one's actually also came across somewhat feminine to me. The strength and throw is about a 6.5/7 for half of the scent shot in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. And then the next Hayden Rowe scent shot I finished was Spindrift. So this is another one that's like salty sea air, ozone, aquatic, like fresh and aquatic vibes, but this one is just like pure fresh and aquatic type scent. There's no floral in this one, and out of these 3 I do prefer Spindrift. So if you're looking for like an authentic, just fresh, clean, aquatic ozone scent, then I would recommend this one. Whereas Beach House, even though you do get some of that salty ozone vibe, you do pick up some of the floral notes, what makes it a little bit like a pretty scent, although not entirely feminine. And then Beach Garden is definitely more floral, like this perfume sweetness. So comparing these 3, because they all have like similar notes online, but they're actually very, very different. I finished this scent shot in 2 Wicks and a Chick. Beach Babe, this is Ocean Breeze, Toasted Marshmallow, and Creamy Coconut. This was another sweet, beachy scent. You pick up the salty ocean breeze, but you pick up more of that coconut and marshmallow. It almost comes across as like a sweet sunscreen in a way. This one was just an okay scent to me. It wasn't my favorite. The strength and throw was about a 4.5/5 for half of the scent shot in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. Whew. And last, but certainly not least, I finished Destination Wax Beach Linen. First of all, this scent is strong. Just like the Salty Sea Air, this one is so strong. I've been trying to branch out, try a few laundry blends, stuff like that. This one is similar to the Hayden Rowe scent that I mentioned earlier, Beach Towels, and I actually did like this one. It does smell like a beachy linen scent. It smells like you're sitting on the beach. You have a fresh towel that you just dried yourself off with, so the towel now has that like salty, sandy smell to it from the ocean. It's like very salty ocean water vibes, but also very clean as well. So it's just a really interesting combination. I've definitely found that I like laundry scents when they're mixed with beachy scents. So the moral of the story is to challenge yourself. If you are one who's like, I don't like bakery or I don't like laundry, branch out, try a couple, maybe try try one that's just got like a hint of bakery or a hint of laundry, because this proves that I can do some laundry scents, just like I can do some floral scents if they're mixed with fruit. Whew, that is it. That is all of the wax melts I finished this month. If you're only here for the wax melts, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you've been melting and what your theme was for July. I'm going to rearrange again and we'll move right on into the candles. I am quite happy with the number of candles that I finished this month, but not only that, the variety I was able to get through with the different candle companies, different forms. I feel like typically I just have a lot of Bath & Body Works, but this month was a nice variety, so happy about that. I did finish a box of Yankee Candles tea lights in lavender. I've probably mentioned this in so many videos now, you're tired of hearing it, but I do really like Yankee Candles tea lights. They are my favorite. They're perfect for bath time. They give just a nice amount of scent. They burn well. They don't just tunnel down. They're really good ones. And if I get them on sale, it's in my annual sale, it's always a bonus. The first full candle I finished this month, apologies for the glare, is Yankee Candles Vanilla Lime. This was actually the first time I've ever burned this scent. I'd heard some good things about it, but I have, over the last several years, been very finicky with lime scents. Like, certain lime scents I just cannot do, and so I tend to just stay away from lime in general because of that. But I'm all about branching out this year particularly, so I'm like, you know what, I've had some people tell me this is amazing, people within the candle community that I really trust. I'm like, I just need to try this for myself and see, and I am so glad I did. This is such a beautiful, wonderful scent. It's actually a really nice, authentic, tangy lime mixed with like this zesty lemon. Plus you get this wonderful amount of like creamy sweetness. It is fantastic. I am now officially in love with the scent. Would definitely be repurchasing it. And actually it was one that I could smell, so I was very happy about that. The strength and throw was a 5.5, which is a little over medium, and honestly, for me, that's pretty good with Yankees. I don't normally even get a medium throw, so happy about that. And what I do normally get from Yankee is a very clean burn, and this one was no exception. You can see there's really no residue. There wasn't even very much sooting at all. It burned itself out. Not too much wax left at all. Very nice burn. Would definitely be repurchasing this one again. I would love, in fact, for them to bring this one out in several different forms, because I would pick that up as well. Highly recommend this one if you've never tried it. It is wonderful. I finished the single wick candle by the company Peace, Love, and Soap. It's a soy wax candle. They use 100% essential oils, and the scent is lemon eucalyptus. These are hand poured in Greenville, South Carolina. My mother found this like a farmer's market or some kind of like vendor show that she'd gone to, and she is always trying to get me away from chemicals, quote unquote, and so anytime she finds a candle with essential oil, she picks it up and tries to convert me. This scent is really, really nice. It was a blast of this tangy, clean lemon. Definitely that lemon from the essential oils that you would expect if you ever have had lemon essential oil, and then it had that invigorating eucalyptus. It definitely had more lemon than eucalyptus, but very clean, very refreshing. The strength and throw was actually about a 4, so it was pretty strong for a single wick candle, but unfortunately the burn was not great. You can see all of the residue on the side there, all the leftover wax. I am not an expert in soy candles at all, so maybe this is just typical for soy candles. I'm not sure. It was a very messy burn. It was very slow to pull out, and it tunneled quite a bit. And the only reason it actually looks this good is because I took a butter knife and was kind of trying to push down around the sides. There's a lot of wax left at the bottom there. I mean, that's a good bit. And this was actually quite pricey. I looked it up. This wasn't a cheap candle. You know, I applaud smaller businesses. I always want to support smaller businesses, but you know, for the price, that's just not worth it. Now, I don't even know at this point if I'm going to try to save any of this wax. Maybe I'll try to melt it or something like that. Like the scent, but wasn't happy with the burn. I finished my beloved Raspberry Peach Macaron. I've mentioned this candle several times before. I think y'all know at this point that I love this scent. It's sweet, creamy, raspberry, edible, yumminess. Just so good. I love it. Very distinct. No other candle from Bath & Body Works smells like this. It's just so delicious. The strength and throw is 8, 8.5, so quite strong. And the burn, I would say is kind of typical for this candle. To me, I deal with the burn issues because I think the scent is worth it. This one actually sooted quite a bit. You can see all that soot around there. Now, part of that's my fault because the very last burn, I did let it go a little bit too long, and you can see how long the wicks got there. Despite the sootiness and the burn issues, I do highly recommend this scent. And they're not normally this sooty. Again, this is more my fault. But I love the scent, and highly recommend it if you can still find it. The next scent I finished is Bath & Body Works Summertime Soda Pop. I love this packaging. This came out for semi-annual sale and it's just so cute. The notes are crisp lime, zesty lemon, and a splash of soda. This one is zesty, citrusy, fizzy pop scent. If you are also into vendor wax, you know exactly what fizzy pop smells like. It's a very distinct citrusy, fizzy scent, and that's exactly what this reminds me of. The strength of this one was different from the throw in the fact that the strength was about a 6, 6.5, but the throw was about a 5, 5.5. And it's not a huge difference, but I really expected this scent to be really strong. I actually expected it to kind of blow me out of the house like a storm of boardwalk, because fizzy pop and vendor wax is a very strong scent, but this just didn't do that. The burn was excellent. It didn't have puny wicks. It had a little bit of sooting. You know, you can see a little bit of the darkness around there, but honestly, not much at all. It had nice deep wax pull, so I don't know why this wasn't stronger. I just felt like it should be. Let me know if you burn this one, how strong it was for you. I found it just to be adequate, and for me, it's not one that I would want to stock up on, or I don't even know that I would want to have a backup of it. The next candle I finished is this Yankee candle Sun and Sand in the 3-wick version. I was really excited to try this form. This scent is amazing. The quintessential summer scent, suntan lotion and salty sea breeze, perfection. For me, it's just a scent I have to burn every summer. It's perfect. I love it. The strength and throw of this was about a 6.5, which is pretty good for a Yankee. So it didn't quite fill my open concept. It wasn't really quite enough to kind of fill that space like other candles do, but it was a lot better than the large jars for filling that space. I did enjoy it. Of course, I love the scent itself. It was very sooty, this candle, especially towards the end, and you can see like quite a bit of soot there. I mean, look at that. And then the soot all the way around it. So, I mean, that's quite a lot, and I think that's just because of the wax that they use in this particular candle. It was a clean burn as far as like no puny wicks. There was no issues of tunneling or residue on the sides of the candle, but it was sooty. This was the first time that I have tried these 3 wicks by Yankee, and I think overall I probably would repurchase this form. The next candle I finish is Bath & Body Works Vanilla Birch. This one is white birch bark, Madagascar vanilla, and warm sandalwood. I've spoken about this candle before as well. I absolutely love this scent. I essentially refer to this as Wine Cellar's summer cousin. It is earthy and beautiful. In my opinion, it's not an exact dupe of Wine Cellar. There are very distinct differences, but they are close enough that I would say that they're cousins. And this one, the sandalwood, adds this like lightness and creaminess compared to Wine Cellar, and so that's why to me it makes it a nice summer scent. The strength and throw was an 8, so perfect Bath & Body Works strength and throw that you expect, and the burn was also great. No puny wicks, just a little bit of sooting, but not bad at all. One of those perfect burns that you wish that every Bath & Body Works candle could have. I absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. They did bring this out again this year in the sort of limited edition marble collection with the marble lid. So if you couldn't get it last year, then maybe you can still pick it up this year. But I highly recommend it, especially if you like Wine Cellar, and since they haven't brought that back out, this is a good alternative. I finished this 1-wick Bath & Body Works candle in Rio de Janeiro. This one is mango, sweet orange, and pina colada. This is a sweet mango tropical fruity scent. It's actually a syrupy mango. It was just sort of an okay scent when it was burning. The strength and throw was about a 3.5, so not great, but not horrible, I guess, for a single wick candle. And the burn was decent. You can see though there was a lot of residue, but it didn't tunnel. Not the worst that obviously we've seen in this video even of a single wick. There is quite a bit of wax left though at the bottom. So for me, this is definitely not a repurchase. Next candles I have are these Homeworx Citronella candles. So you may or may not be familiar with these. So basically what you get is this really large flower base, and then you get 2 of these smaller flowers that sit inside the bigger one, and these are the 2 that you burn. So like I got a yellow set, an orange set, and a pink set. The scent itself is really nice. It's a very non-chemical citronella. It's still definite citronella, but it's also lemongrass and lemon, and just sort of this really nice blend. And it's just the most beautiful citronella scent that I've ever smelled, if you can even call citronella beautiful, but this one is. So I set these at sort of 3 different areas around the screen and porch and burned 3 at one time. So with 3 of them going, it was 6.5, 7. I could actually smell it, but it wasn't overpowering. Of course, it's an outdoor space, so you know it's wafting out of the space, but it was still, you could definitely smell it, which I really liked. The issue that I have is that you can just even see here with these 2 that were finished that it's a very inconsistent burn. I lit all 3 of these at the same time, the orange, yellow, and the pink's not here because it's actually still going. So I lit them all at the same time, and then I blew them out, and then another night I lit them again, and that second night this orange one went dead, basically. You can see. Like, that didn't even pull out. It didn't even go down at all. And I even tried to dig around a little bit thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe the wick like flopped into itself. But no, that's actually the base of the wick. So when they were pouring these during production, for whatever reason, this wick was really high up in the actual flower itself. So if this had been the only set I had bought and burned, I would have been extremely disappointed and upset. And I can see why people left negative reviews if this is what they happened to get. So, I mean, there's a lot of wax there. So that's a waste of money to only get really 1 burn, because the second time it just basically went out. This one, alternatively, it burned the first time, and then the second time that I lit it, this one went out, this one went again, and you can see where it kind of pulled out a little bit more shallow the second time, and then I actually got a 3rd burn out of this one, and then it just kind of tunneled itself down. So, very inconsistent. Also, the pink one actually has another burn. I've burned that now 4 times, and I can still even burn it again. It has a really nice wax pull, and it's just burning down perfectly. So depending on which batch or which set you bought, your experience could vary widely. So just be aware of that. I did also like the second yellow and the second orange one, and the second orange one isn't doing this. So this it doesn't even seem to be consistent among the colors. So the scent's great, the throw's great. It seems to be doing its job and keeping the mosquitoes away, but the burns are inconsistent. So I will definitely keep you updated, because I do plan on burning these more throughout the summer, and I will let you know how those other burns go. I mean, overall at this point, I can't really recommend these, but I also I wouldn't say don't buy them yet either, because like there's good and bad. So I'm on the fence still with these, and I'll let y'all know. The next candle I finished is Bath & Body Works Suntan. Look at this label. I just think it's so cute. Full wraparound, the beach scene, I love it. The notes are sun-kissed citrus, orange blossoms, and coconut husk. And this is a wonderful, perfect sunscreen scent. Very authentic. Unfortunately, the strength and throw of this is only like a 5, 5.5, which is weak compared to the past. Even last year's with the ugly label, I remember it being much stronger. So I'm not sure exactly why this scent was so weak this year, but I don't really appreciate that. Bath & Body Works, this is a scent that I want to be strong and fill my space. So please do not start messing with your oils, and if your candles get weak, I'm going to be upset. Disappointed in the strength and throw. I expect a nice medium-high throw from Bath & Body Works candle, and the burn was just okay. The wicks were very, very weak. But they started off small from the very beginning. The very first burn, it was just a very slow to pull out, very small, tiny wicks. Didn't get deep wax pulls, which of course that's probably why the strength and throw was so weak, was because it just wasn't a fantastic burn. It did eventually burn itself out, as you can see. It didn't soot very much. When there was nothing to soot, the wicks were so small, it couldn't have been sooty. But yeah, overall just disappointed. Like, I love this label, and I kind of had anticipated picking up another one in this label, but with this burn, I can't justify picking up another candle. So this batch number is here. It is K3A3, in case you want to see what yours is. Let me know if you've had a similar experience. If you had good luck with it, I might still pick another one of these up, just because I do like the scent. But yeah, disappointed in the performance of this one. The next candle I finished is this Homeworx Bahama Breeze. Look at that full label and all those juicy fruits. Really cute. The notes of this one are kiwi, mango, papaya, and Tahitian vanilla and apple. This one was very surprising, because with the name like Bahama Breeze and the label with all the fruits, I expected this to be like a fruit cocktail, super fruity kind of drink scent, but actually the crisp, tart, green apple note dominates, followed by like this other sweet and juicy fruits and a subtle vanilla. There's also this sort of subtle, earthy kind of bite to it, like almost like maybe a sweet basil or some kind of herb in there as well. So it comes across as this fresh, fruit salad where you do have sort of this medley of fruits and you just have more green apple than any other fruit, but it's really, really nice. This one actually surprised me. I really enjoyed it. The strength and throw was about a 7.5, so a very solid strength and throw. I did have this in my open concept kitchen. It definitely filled my whole living room and kitchen space. Very happy with that. And as per usual, the burn was fantastic. It was a bit sooty, see there. Not horrible at all, but I think a bit more sooty than I've come to expect from Homeworx. Just a very clean burn though, no puny wicks, beautiful nice wax pulls. Of course it burned itself out, the wicks didn't move at all. Really happy with the overall performance of these candles. Love the scent actually, and I did already repurchase this set because I just thought it was fantastic. I also finished this Homeworx drop-in 2-wick candle in Vanilla Cherry Blossom. This is Cherry Blossom, Tart Blackberry, Blushing Peach, Black Anise, and Vanilla Sugar. This came in the Toile Easter egg. I did not burn this in the egg because Easter is obviously over and I put away any kind of eggs. But what I wanted to share with you is that these 2-wick drop-ins fit perfectly in the Bath & Body Works candle holders. This is great because this definitely needed something to kind of conduct the heat, and this was perfect. And look how pretty. I mean, it almost looks like it was made for it. Obviously it wasn't, but it just fits perfectly inside those. So most people have these, and so if you are a person who maybe financially can't or doesn't want to commit to a 3-wick set, he does offer a lot of scents in these 2-wick drop-ins. So this may be a good alternative for you to be able to try some of his scents and try some of his candles for a little bit of a cheaper price. You can buy the drop-in separately without buying like a ceramic figural with it. You can just buy the drop-ins by themselves, and they are a little bit cheaper than buying the 3-wicks. So just want to throw that out there for those of you who maybe haven't yet tried his 3-wicks or just maybe can't afford them because they're a little bit out of your price range or are not comfortable spending that much on candles at this point. This might be a good alternative for you to try some of his candles at a little bit of a cheaper cost. And this is a 12-ounce candle, by the way, so it's just a couple ounces smaller than a Bath & Body Works candles. Okay. Enough about that. So I said originally that this smelled like peach Bellini, and I kind of still stand by that, but when it was burning, it definitely smelled more like champagne toast. I don't have champagne toast or peach Bellini to do a side-by-side comparison. Those are scents that come back every year. I don't keep them in my collection, so I may get those in the winter and be like, what was I thinking? But from scent memory, which I admit that mine is not the best, this definitely smelled a lot like champagne toast type scent. You got that fruity, sweet, vanilla kind of drink scent. And this actually is not floral at all in my opinion. I'm just not picking up any floral in this scent at all. So with the name like Vanilla Cherry Blossom, you would think there would be a lot of floral, but there wasn't. The strength and throw of this is about a 4, 4.5. So it's not going to be one that can carry a large space, but definitely still stronger than most Yankee candles, but not as strong as even kind of a weak Bath & Body Works scent. The burn was decent. It did want to struggle a little bit at first, like it didn't quite want to pull out. You can see that it sort of tapers here, but at the very top, it did want to struggle a little bit. There's a little bit of residue here, not bad at all. I did use a butter knife at one point to kind of push the sides down, but of course the lower it went, it self-corrected and it didn't have any kind of issues with it after that. It was a little bit sooty, considering it was only 2 wicks, just a tiny bit sooty. Definitely not as clean as a burn of his 3-wick candles, but I do still think a very nice alternative, a little bit of a cheaper alternative to trying some of his scents if you can invest or don't want to invest in 3 wicks. I really did like this scent overall and was pretty impressed with how this did. I finished another Yankee candle, Sun and Sand, this time in the medium 1-wick jar. I've already talked about the scent. The strength and throw of this one was about a 3.5, so the 3-wick was definitely better. The burn was okay, but this one sooted quite a bit. You can see there all of the soot on that candle, and that's not typical for Yankee, so I'm not sure why this one sooted so badly, but a little disappointed in this. Of course, I really want this to be a lot stronger, but burning it in different forms and having the wax melts as well, I did get the overall experience I was looking for in this scent. The next scent I finished is Bath & Body Works Summer Terrace. This one is fresh watermint, crisp pear, citrus, and warm musk. Wow, this scent is amazing. very underhyped in my opinion. There's so many candles that get so much attention on Instagram and social media, and this one just didn't get any attention that I saw, and it should have. It is amazing. Fresh, clean, watery, refreshing scent. Similar to Bath & Body Works Beach Sage and Mint if you got to try that one, but better in my opinion. You get the mint, you get the pear, the melon notes in this one. You get this sweet crispness, almost like a little bit of a cucumber vibe as well, and it lacks the sharpness of that bergamot from the Beach Sage and Mint. So it really evokes this image of this like wonderfully fresh shower in the summer. I just love it so much, and way more than I thought I would on cold sniff, but really impressed with this one. The strength and throw was also a 9, so it was very strong, wonderful, but it wasn't like too strong, and the burn was great. Look how clean that is. A little bit of sooting, but overall a fantastic burn. No puny wicks, no residue, no issues, just a great burn. I've already purchased a backup of this one, and I definitely would pick it up a couple more just in case we never see it again. Highly recommend this scent if you like fresh, clean, watery scents. I finished Bath & Body Works Pineapple Cream Puff. This one is puff pastry and rich cream meet tropical pineapple and a fragrance inspired by the classic handmade confection. This one is a pineapple bakery scent for sure. You get a lot of that creaminess, more so than the bakery aspect of it. It's actually similar to Bath & Body Works Pineapple Crumb Cake, but not exactly the same. That one had more bakery. This one you get more of that cream. And the pineapple comes through quite a bit more when it's actually burning. It's a nice scent, but not one that I'm in love with. The strength and throw was about a 5.5, 6 for the first third of the burn, and then it actually got stronger the last 2/3 of the burn, and it was about a strength and throw about a 7. I'm not exactly sure why, but that's just what happened. It did have struggling wicks. You can see all the residue on the side there. They never got like truly puny, quote unquote. I never had to cotton ball it, but I did not trim these wicks at all. You just didn't need to, because they were very small after you burned them, and you didn't need to trim them, because then you would have there would have been nothing left. I do have another one of these just because I have this entire Sweet Shop collection. But if I didn't, or if this was still in stores right now, this is not one that I would repurchase. It just, to me, the scent wasn't unique enough. It wasn't fantastic enough to kind of deal with the burn issues. Overall, it was nice. It was okay, but not a favorite for me. And the last candle I finished in July is Homeworx Guava Sunset. Let's just take a moment to look at this gorgeous label. I mean, how beautiful is that? Like literally on a tropical island with the sunset and the sun, all the different colors on the water. It's just beautiful. I just want to be in that picture. Guava Sunset is pink guava, juicy nectarine, fresh papaya, green melon, coconut water, and mango wood. To me, this came across as a tropical, fruity, sweet bubblegum scent. Like if you've ever had Bubblicious' like tropical fruit, like as an orange piece of big square Bubblicious gum, that's what this reminded me of. It didn't remind me of a drink. It didn't remind me of a cocktail. It didn't remind me of fresh fruit. It just reminded me of this really kind of chewy, sweet bubble gum. Not like your standard pink bubble gum, of course, but like the tropical fruity ones. It had this sort of candied sweetness to it, especially when it was burning. That part really came through more so than on cold sniff. And it was very sweet and juicy. Even now smelling it, it definitely makes my mouth water. There's a nice amount of a tartness in there. It's not overpowering, but it's just really well balanced with the sweetness overall. I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as Bahama Breeze. The strength and throw was about a 5, 5.5, so a solid medium. This one I actually felt it had a better throw than it had strength. Like I felt like it went farther in my living room, but it wasn't as strong. So maybe even I would say that the strength was like a 5, 5.5, and the throw was like a 6.5. So the burn was good, but I would actually just kind of call it okay. It was actually quite sooty as well. So both of these in this duo were quite sooty, and you can just see the soot there on my finger. It was quite sooty. Like at some points I actually saw little puffs of soot coming off of this one, which I don't normally see with Homeworx. It did have really large mushroom tops on it after it was burning, or while it was burning. It did burn itself out. You can see the wicks didn't move. It didn't have any residue or anything like that. It wasn't as clean of a burn as I'm used to with Homeworx. This one was nice, but definitely not a fave. I did mention I already repurchased the duo because I wanted to get Bahama Breeze, and I'm glad that I did that, because even though this one wasn't like a favorite, it's still nice enough that I would be fine and would want to burn this one again. And of course the label is just gorgeous. Like when you burn it, it really does look like a sunset. It's just beautiful. Okie dokie, that is it. That is my entire candle and wax and random empties for July 2018. This is definitely a longer video because I did get through a lot of stuff. Let me know in the comments below what you melted and burned this month. I always love to hear from you. Did you burn any of these that I did, or melted what I did? If so, which were your favorites? Did you have any standout favorites this month? I always love to hear your recommendations for scents that maybe I should try in the future, so let me know. If you like this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you like to see other videos like this, please subscribe. I do a monthly empties video. That is a video that I always get done and post for you all, and I also do hauls and candles and wax, etc. Thank you all for your patience this last month when I didn't have as much time to post videos, but I do plan on getting back to my weekly schedule soon. Thank you as always for all of your support. I really appreciate all of you that watch these videos, that like and comment, and even those of you who don't comment, still I appreciate you very much for watching, and thank you for all your support. I just really appreciate having so many of you that are so kind, and that we can talk about our passion for candles and home fragrance and wax, and it's just really nice. So anyway, yes, thank you so much for watching as always. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.